is January 12th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today out of the Big Book, we're going to continue our journey through Bill's story, and we'll be reading page 3. And out of the 12 and 12, we will continue our journey through step 2 by reading page 25. Or excuse me, I guess not continue. I guess we'll begin step 2 today. And of course, we'll read the 24 hours a day in daily reflection. So with that, hope you all are doing well this morning, my friends. Once again, we've been given a brand new set of 24 hours. Clean slate, another opportunity to work the program. And that's just an exciting thing. And life is good over here. I've got a giant cup of coffee in my Venom coffee cup. I don't know if anyone knows who Venom is, Spider-Man, great villain / hero. But anyway, it's funny how I get excited about, I'm going to use a different coffee cup this morning. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, my friends, so if you recall from yesterday's reading out of the Big Book, so far things are going pretty well. I mean, on page 2, there were hints that he's had some problems drinking, but now he's got a great opportunity. He and his wife Lois have gone out on the road, and they've earned themselves quite a bit of money doing these stock speculations. As a matter of fact, one of the last lines, the exercise of an option brought in more money, leaving us with a profit of several $1,000s for that year. Things are going pretty good. Let's see what happens on page 3. For the next few years, fortune threw money and applause my way. I had arrived. My judgment and ideas were followed by many to the tune of paper millions. The great boom of the late 20s was seething and swelling. Drink was taking an important and exhilarating part in my life. There was loud talk in the jazz places uptown. Everyone spent in thousands and chattered in millions. Scoffers could scoff and be damned. I made a host of fair-weather friends. My drinking assumed more serious proportions, continuing all day and almost every night. The remonstrances of my friends terminated in a row, and I became a lone wolf. There were many unhappy scenes in our sumptuous apartment. There had been no real infidelity, for loyalty to my wife, helped at times by extreme drunkenness, kept me out of those scrapes. In 1929, I contracted golf fever. We went out at once to the country, my wife to applaud while I started out to overtake Walter Hagen. Liquor caught up with me much faster than I came up behind Walter. I began to be jittery in the morning. Golf permitted drinking every day and every night. It was fun to carry him around the exclusive course which had inspired such awe in me as a lad. I acquired the impeccable code of tan one sees upon the well-to-do. The local banker watched me whirl fat checks in and out of his till with amused skepticism. Out of the 12 and 12 run, step 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. The moment they read step 2, most AA newcomers are confronted with a dilemma, sometimes a serious one. How often have we heard them cry out, "Look what you people have done to us. You have convinced us that we are alcoholics and that our lives are unmanageable. Having reduced us to a state of absolute helplessness, you now declare that none but a higher power can remove our obsession? Some of us won't believe in God. Others can't. And still others who do believe that God exists have no faith whatever that He will perform this miracle. Yes, you've got us over a barrel, all right. But where do we go from here? Let's look first at the case of the one who says he won't believe, the belligerent one. He's in a state of mind which can be described as only savage. His whole philosophy of life, in which he so gloried, is threatened. It's bad enough, he thinks, to admit alcohol has him down for keeps. But now, still smarting from that admission, he's faced with something really impossible. How he does cherish the thought that man, risen so majestically from a single cell in the primordial ooze, is the spearhead of evolution, and therefore the only God that his universe knows. Must he renounce all of this to save himself? "24 Hours a Day, January 12th. AA Thought for the Day. The longer we're in AA, the more natural this way of life seems. Our old drinking lives were a very unnatural way of living. Our present sober lives are the most natural way that we could possibly live. During the early years of our drinking, our lives weren't so different from the lives of a lot of other people. But as we gradually became problem drinkers, our lives became more and more unnatural. Do I realize now that the things that I did were far from natural? Meditation for the day. I will say thank you to God for everything, even the seeming trials and worries. I will strive to be grateful and humble. My whole attitude toward my higher power will be one of gratitude. I will be glad for things that I have received. I will pass on what God reveals to me. I believe that more truths will flow in as I go along in this new way of life. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may be grateful for the things that I have received and do not deserve. I pray that this gratitude will make me truly humble. Daily Reflection, January 12th. Accepting our present circumstances. Our very first problem is to accept our present circumstances as they are, ourselves as we are, and the people about us as they are. This is to adopt a realistic humility without which no genuine advance can even begin. Again and again, we shall need to return to that unflattering point of departure. This is an exercise in acceptance that we can profitably practice every day of our lives. Provided we strenuously avoid turning these realistic surveys of the facts of life into unrealistic alibis for apathy or defeatism, they can be the sure foundation upon which increased emotional health and therefore spiritual progress can be built. As Bill sees it, page 44. When I am having a difficult time accepting people, places, or events, I turn to this passage, and it relieves me of many an underlying fear regarding others or situations life presents me. The thought allows me to be human and not perfect, and to regain my peace of mind. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading. I love the 24 hours a day and daily reflection today. Since it's fresh, the daily reflection talking about acceptance, right? Our very first problem is to accept our present circumstances as they are, ourselves as we are, and the people about us as they are. Acceptance has been a huge part of my recovery. The Serenity Prayer has been absolutely crucial for me. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. There are a lot of things I can't change in life. Things I thought I could. I was like that director, right? Trying to change everybody else. Okay, here was me in a nutshell. I so desired to be liked by everyone else that I would try to manipulate certain situations, hoping that somebody would say something kind about me. And I think deep down, it was not so much because of pride, it's because I didn't like myself. But then I realized when I didn't get the affirmation I was hoping for, I'd either become more desperate to get it, or I would just start to spiral down self-resentment. It wasn't good. So there are some things that I can't change. I can't change what other people think about me. I can't change what other people say and do. None of that. but courage to change the things I can. Well, what can I change? I can change my attitude. I can change my reaction. I can change my outlook on life and on myself. Okay, so real quick, I want to share some wisdom. My son is in 4th grade, and it kind of deals with, serenity a little bit, right? And in what I can control. And sometimes, especially when I'm being attacked or something like that, I want to let them have it. But then there's an acronym. My son made this here in 4th grade, and the acronym is think before we respond. So the T stands for, is it true? Is this a fact or an opinion? H stands for, is this helpful? What I'm about to say. I stands for, is it inspiring? N stands for, is it necessary? Do I have to say this? And then K stands for, is this kind? Man, there's some wisdom being dropped there in 4th grade. I love that stuff. So, I've been trying to remember that, and I'm going to continue to try to remember that as I go about the day. Is it true, helpful, inspiring, necessary, and kind? And if it doesn't fall into one of those categories, maybe I shouldn't say it. Maybe I should just bite my tongue. Those are the things that I can change. But acceptance has been absolutely huge in my life. And accepting myself has been the biggest one. Somebody once told me, and I'm sorry, this will be the last thing I say. Somebody once told me, what if I looked at myself the way I would look at a good friend of mine in my inner circle? A lot of times I'm very quick to forgive my friends and say, dude, you're human, okay? I can see you're trying. But what if I looked at myself that way? Rob, you're human. Of course you're not perfect. You're not God. But I see that you're trying. So just keep trying, man. Keep going. That's helped me a lot. But anyway, my friends, I hope that helps somebody else too. Hope you all have a great day today. As always, I don't speak on behalf of AA, NA, Al-Anon, any other sect. I'm just a friend in this lifeboat of recovery. Really honored to be here today. If you're sober, you're a miracle. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm sure that those who love you the most are so proud of you. And I heard this the other day. When we are sober, not only is it a gift to us, but it is a gift to those around us. That's something to chew on for a little while. And if you're not sober today, I hope you know that you're worthy of recovery and that you are loved and you have worth. And I pray that you get the help that you need today. My friends, if we're given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely hope to see you right back here tomorrow.